This is Orlando. This is where we believe in magic and fantasies and wishing upon stars and the power of the imagination. This is where we dream, where we think smarter and play harder. So if you think you know all there is to know about Orlando, you're in for a big surprise. Because until you join our community and see all the reasons we're amazing, you don't know the half of it.
I go to Princeton University, majoring in psychology.
I go to Harvard and I'm majoring in economics.
I'm going to Duke and I'm majoring in psychology and global health.
I'm going to Johns Hopkins and I'm majoring in chemistry.
Our advantage, great teachers and programs at Orange County Public Schools. See what's possible for you.
There are magnet programs, advanced placement and honors classes, and guidance counselors who help us choose the right courses.
You can even earn college credit while in high school.
OCPS has programs for every type of learner.
Orange County Public Schools, leading students to success.
All right, good evening, everybody, to this reorganization meeting of the Orange County School Board. I want to thank our guests for attending tonight. You may be somewhat disappointed. We're hoping this is the shortest meeting in the history of the Orange County School Board because we have the only business on our agenda tonight is to reorganize, which is when we appoint a new vice chair and go through our other organizational duties. But thank you for coming tonight. We really appreciate it and our partnership with you all. So thank you. So let me begin the meeting by asking everybody to please stand and join me in a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. I think it goes without saying, but as you bow your head in the moment of silence, please keep in mind the victims of the terror attacks in Paris. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. All right, board members, as you know, especially in a non-election year, we don't really have much pomp and circumstance and ceremony tonight, so this will be very, very quick. We have two main duties tonight, or three actually. One is to elect a vice chair. Two is to establish our dates and times for school board meetings, and three is to request approval of officers to our leasing corporation, and then we will be done. So let me dive right in and ask, are there any nominations from the floor for vice chair?
I have a nomination.
Vice Chair Gordon.
All righty, thank you so much. It is with pleasure that am I on? Okay, thank you.
You're on.
All righty, thank you. It is with pleasure that I've served as vice chair for the past 2 years, and I want to thank the chairman for all of the leadership opportunities that you provided. I want to thank the school board superintendent and my fellow board members for the great support that you've given me and the assistance. With all of that, I do want to say I thank Deborah McGill, Mel Miller-Smith, and Darrell Flynn, who really inspired me to take that position, which I really love. And I want to say to the finance department, to Rick Collins, finance department, who made me snap the whip, which I really appreciate that, the training of the training that was provided. So with all that in mind, it has really been an honor. I do give this up with reluctancy because I have really enjoyed serving. And I've had a good time. Didn't want to do it in the beginning like Darrell, but Darrell wanted to hurry up and get out, and that would tickle me. She was happy. But I do have reluctancy because I had fun. I really enjoyed going to the schools and serving as vice chair of this great board. So again, Superintendent, to my fellow colleagues, to Bill Sublette, chair of this board, it is with my great pleasure to nominate as our next vice chair, Ms. Nancy Robinson. And I'm going to hand over my responsibility into the capable hand of Nancy. So I pass it over from Daryl over to you.
Well, Mrs. Gordon, I want to say it's been a pleasure having you as my vice chair, and I'd like you to know that you're not going anywhere far. You're just flipping seats. So you're still going to be right by my side and giving me counsel and advice. So I appreciate that very, very. If you're willing to sit up here and still endure me for another year by my side. So thank you for that. Is there a second to that nomination? It's been seconded by Ms. Cadle. All right. Are there any other nominations from the floor? All right, seeing none, show the nominations closed. All those in favor of the nomination, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Show Mrs. Nancy Robinson, our new vice chair, by acclamation. Do you want to make a speech?
Yeah. Daryl had pushed her better.
Yeah, please.
I just want to say, Kat, you did a fabulous job as vice chair today, representing us as the spokesperson for the board at the grand opening today of Launch Site. That was amazing, and I just really appreciate the work you've done for us for the past 2 years. So thank you, Kat, and thank you for the nomination. I definitely accept, and I'm very excited to serve for the next year. So thank you much.
Ms. Flynn.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wanted to thank Mrs. Gordon for her service these last 2 years. You've done an exceptional job, and to Ms. Robinson, congratulations. And I know you're going to do a good job. I'm going to do a little love fest here, but I feel very honored to serve with all of my fellow board members, and I think we're a very cohesive team, and we have our own separate thoughts about things, but that's what makes us really work well together. We've got different thoughts and approaches, but I like the way we put them out together, and I know you're going to do a good job, and I'm here to support you.
Ms. Gold.
Kat, thank you always for your leadership and for being our personal faith and preacher-like inspiration at everything. Tough shoes to fill, Mrs. Robinson. You're going to have to practice to follow up on that because it has been grand to have you in that role. And thank you for all the support that you've given us as board members.
Thank you.
Ms. Cadle.
Well, Nancy, congratulations. I know you'll be a great vice chair. And Kat, you did a wonderful job for the 2 years. And, I'm kind of going to ducktail on what Daryl was talking about, because I feel like I traveled the whole month of October, and I talked to a lot of school board members. And I had people searching me out saying, how do you do what you do in Orange County? It looks like you all like one another and that you're a team together, and it's really kind of all of us up here, including the superintendent and our general counsel. And I continue to hear horror stories from all sides of this nation of boards where they really don't like one another. There are hidden agendas. They're not doing what's right for their employees, and they're not doing what's right for their students. And so each and every day, I am just so tickled to be here and to share the things that we are doing right. And I've spent some time reflecting in the past week, because Leadership Winter Park Education Day was last Thursday. And we did everything from competition cheerleaders to the a cappella groups to the culinary arts to the elementary National Junior Honor Society, or whatever the Honor Society is for elementary schools, who were the tour guides at the school. And I got home, and then we went to Winter Park Tech. I had to leave, but Winter Park Tech did a phenomenal job. And I went home and I thought, these are the days that make my heart sing, and it fills my soul, because we hear a lot of bad things that are happening, but there are so many good things that are happening for our children. And I just think the future of this community is in great shape because of what we're offering our students. And so I look forward to another year.
Amen, amen. Mrs. Robinson.
I just wanted to add, Pam, you're right, I do have tough shoes to fill. And Kat, I don't know if you could see today, but Linda and I, where we were sitting, the interpreter for the hearing impaired was right in front of us. She was doing yours with emotion. I mean, the other people, she was very serious. And with you, she was doing whatever. It was, Linda says, look at her. So she was getting your emotion.
She's my personal interpreter.
She's
been with me for the last 15 years.
I don't know how she kept up.
She knows me back and forth.
But she got your emotion, and it was so exciting to watch. So she wasn't just, she was feeling your words too. And you get that from the whole crowd when you get going. So thank you for, and you're not going anywhere. So we still expect some excitement and passion. Thanks.
Mrs. Cobert.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't join the Love Fest, but, you know, coming from the outside, Deborah McGill and I were just saying today that this was the week last year, really, when I went into shock and found out that I would be serving among people that I have for so long admired and respected and looked to for leadership. For the children of our community. And I just wanted to say what an honor it's been to serve this past year. And Mrs. Gordon, the first time I had to follow you up here on the dais, I was just, my knees were shaking. But it has been an honor to serve under your leadership as vice chair. And I have learned so much from you, not only this year, but in years past. And I want to thank you for your leadership. And Nancy, I am so excited to have you come on in this leadership role. Indeed, I feel like the children of this community are in very good hands. So congratulations.
Well, Mrs. Gordon, thank you again for your leadership the last 2 years. Thank you for your consensus building. You know, your community, I always remind them anytime I speak in front of anybody in your community that I don't think they could have a more ardent, passionate advocate for their community than they have in you. And I think they recognize that, and I think that's reflected in your reelection cycle after cycle after cycle. And I think it speaks volumes to your leadership, so thank you. And thank you for leaving that seat down there and coming up here and sitting next to me. It's been much more fun last 2 years having you up here beside me.
That was hard.
And keeping me on task. And Mrs. Robinson, congratulations. You'll do a wonderful job. All right, we need to establish the dates and times for school board meetings. In your board docs are the proposed dates and times for the 2015-2016 school board meetings. Can I have a motion to adopt those proposed dates? Been moved by Ms. Gould. It's been seconded by Mrs. Gordon. Is there any further debate or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Show our dates and times set as proposed in the agenda documents. All right, at this time, I'm going to recess the regular meeting of the Orange County School Board and call to order the meeting of the Orange County School Board Leasing Corporation. The first action item is requesting approval of the minutes of the Orange County School Board Leasing Corporation dated June 23, 2015. Can I please have a motion to approve those minutes? It's been moved by Ms. Cadle. It's been seconded by Ms. Gould. Is there any debate or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Show the minutes adopted. The next item is the election of officers for the Leasing Corporation. The recommended slate of officers is attached again to the agenda item. We need a motion to accept the recommended slate of officers or a motion for an alternative slate of officers. Mr. Rodriguez.
Just, Mr. Chair, members of the board, it's just that the one thing I would suggest is when it was attached, I didn't know who the vice chair would be, so it's as attached with the amendment that Ms. Robinson would be the vice chair.
Okay. So can I have a motion to adopt the proposed officers with Mrs. Robinson as vice chair?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Flynn. Is there a second to that? Seconded by Ms. Gould. Is there any debate or discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Show that adopted. All right, with no further business to address, I will now adjourn the meeting of the Orange County School Board Leasing Corporation and reconvene our regular meeting of the Orange County School Board. Tonight, immediately following this meeting, and we'd love to have our guests join us as well, we have a meet and greet in our lobby with our local media, so we'd like everybody in here to feel invited to that. We've invited all of our available reporters from TV, print, and radio to join us after the meeting. We just felt like it was a good opportunity to meet the journalists who cover us in Central Florida, although we all talk to them quite often. So any media who come to that tonight, thank you for showing up and for attending this event tonight. We appreciate it sincerely. Board members, anything else for the good of the order? Okay, I do think this is a PR. So with that, we will adjourn.
A baby is born. Cute. He's already surrounded by technology. By age 4, she knows how to use a smartphone. He's reading. No, not from this. This. She's making a digital presentation. You don't even know what that is. He has an interest. No, not that. That. By middle school, she has built her own website and her first app. In high school,
with my Michelson interferometer, I can measure down to the fraction of the wavelength of light.
Wow. The world is changing. And they are preparing for jobs that don't even exist yet.